Good morning, ladies. So grateful to be here today. It was a lovely start for me this morning. Actually, healing, beautiful. I actually got out for my run very early. Yes, I was out the door at 5 a.m. I was determined to get out for my run because it makes me feel so good, right? Doing what we love, doesn't it make us feel good? It's a reflection of the things that we love in our life, in our business, and everything. So I snuck out and got it in. I was very, very pleased with myself. I said, good job, Yvonne. Because remember, you have to be your biggest cheerleader here on this world and this planet. So I am so grateful to be here again with all of you. And yesterday's call, there was a lot of stuff we talked about. So I'd love to know, where did it sit with you? Did it move you? Did it feel uneasy for you? Because these emotions are meant to be felt, right? Always remember that. We're always feeling emotion. We are emotional beings. So it's important to feel. Yes? Feeling is everything. And before we get too far into it, I'd actually just like to, everyone, because you haven't turned your cameras on yet. So please, I would love your cameras on. But at the moment, I'd just like to sit for a minute and, plant yourself down, put your hands on your heart. Actually, I like doing one on my heart and one on my belly so that you can feel your tummy expanding. And I just want everyone to shut their eyes for a minute. I want you to breathe in really deeply into your belly, opening your heart, and then exhale. We're going to just have a little prayer here today. I'm so grateful for everyone that is here. Everyone that has made the choice and the decision to show up today. You haven't shown up for me, you've shown up for yourself. So send yourself so much love that you have done that for yourself. Because sometimes we have to move things around to get on something live. And I appreciate you making time to do that, to be here, to enjoy this frequency, to be expanding in this energy, and to be bringing in everything you'd love. Because today we are the millionaires. Can you feel that? We are expansive. We are in our genius zone. We are doing everything we love right now, right here. And we are going to be so present in this moment with me today that your heart is going to open. You're going to expand even further than you've ever expanded before, because it is your birthright. And because, ladies, you are here because you want more in life. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Thank you, source energy, for bringing us here today. And for everyone that's watching the replay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So thank you, everyone. Oh, that felt so good. I think we just missed, somebody was hanging in the room, but hopefully she'll come back in. That was Lang something. I'm sure she'll come back. Okay, so there she is. One little thing, getting off the bus. Let me just read these comments before we go into healing. Beautiful. Little one is getting off the bus once the kids are settled. Oh, perfect. Thank you for letting me know. Got to look after our little precious little babies, don't we? Mine is my fur baby. Good morning, Ludmala. Ludmala? Ludmala, is that right? I think it was something like that. Ludmala. She's trying to say it. I know, I'll come back. But anyway, I just want to go into, like, yesterday we were talking about a lot of foundation stuff in our lives, right? Expansion, the pushing, the grinding, the burnout, Somebody messaged me today and they were talking about burnout. I've had a few different messages coming in. So thank you so much for those that have messaged me. And we're going to get clear on this today because we're not meant to be burnt out and it is not a good place to be, right? We want to be in the feminine energy. We want to be creating a life in a business that makes us feel so good that we want to be doing it every day. Not that you have to, but you can choose to. There is a difference. Do you feel that difference? That energy of like you just wake up and you can't wait to do what you do? Like that's what I feel when I get to be on this masterclass with everybody and in our Facebook group. I love it. I love it so much, right? Because the identity work that I have done in my life and my nervous system and everything that I coach on is from my experience. So I understand when you are out of balance. I understand when you've been pushing and in the grind. And what I love is sharing now how to be in this feminine energy to really be able to expand more and to help people and to serve more in an energetic energy that allows you to be you authentically and giving your gifts to those that need you. This world is open and limitless. So are you being limitless today? I know you are. That's why you're here. Smiling. Thank you for seeing your face. Because we are all here to have our best lives. And whatever has happened, I want you to give yourself a lot of grace here. Whatever's you've been stuck or not knowing and hustling and grinding, whatever that has been in your past is not what you are now. You are different now. You are different from one day because we're never the same person as we were yesterday. Today we're better. Did you wake up with so much gratitude and so much happiness? Did you like, yes, I woke up. I'm so happy. Or were you waking up with some thoughts and worry and stress again? Okay. I saw a post this morning and I thought this was really good to think about. Let me just go into my camera for a second. It takes persistence and determination to knock on the door of your heart. You're giving in the force of life. And if you can breathe and feel and practice, the side effect is joy. Ooh, I just got goosebumps. Have you ever been in a place where you couldn't feel joy? Pop it in the chat for me. Have you been in a place where you couldn't feel joy? I think there's times in our lives where we're so much giving that we can sit back and maybe it's not something you've thought about. Maybe this is like going, what do you mean by that, Yvonne? Because joy is our heart. Joy is doing things we love and having the time to do them. But when we get caught up in this life and this go, 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 we can also not even know what joy is. I got to a point where I didn't even know what joy was. I remember I was on a coaching call with my coach and she would talk about joy. And I was like, what is joy? That is our heart being open, expansive. And today the joy is everything. Not everything outside of you, everything inside of you. Yeah. So we talked about yesterday, this is the $1 million room. So now we're talking about the $1 million person. So the $1 million Ashwa, the $1 million Danielle, the $1 million Maria, the $1 million Lumala. Close? Thank you. And the $1 million Megan. Oh, and I'm sorry for anyone that's new on this call. Megan is here. She helps me in my business and she supports me. So if you need anything, please just, text in the, use the chat, and she will also, in case I miss it, she'll let me know. And also come into the Facebook group, because we are going to still expand in these next couple of days. And you'll have a lot more support hands-on as well in there, okay, versus staying on the email list. Where what happens, I want to just share this, okay, this is a really good expansion. Okay, so when you don't come into a Facebook group, for those that are watching the replay as well, when you don't come into the Facebook group, I want you to ask yourself, why not? Why are you not in the group? Why are you not giving yourself more expansion in coming into the group? There's something there for you. So maybe that's why you need to come into the group, because you want to be seen, you want to be heard. But when we are in resistance, even though we want to step into this $1 million room, we can feel so much fear around it that you don't want to be seen. You don't know what that looks like. And that comes from over delivering, over giving, exhaustion, or just clearly afraid to be yourself. And clearly to show whatever you think is wrong with you, because there's nothing wrong with you. So I really encourage you to come into the Facebook group and be held. Let us hold you. Let us help you. It's what lights us up, Megan and I, okay? So I give you permission to come into the group and to message myself or Megan, and she'll probably reach out to you anyway to see how your experience has been going in a loving way, because we care. Okay, it's all it's about. We care. I stayed in a life that I wish someone could have woke me up from and said, what happened to you, Yvonne? No one did. So I got through it, of course, because I'm a determined woman, and I knew that was not my life. But so many people need more help, right? It's good to have support. And in business, entrepreneurship, owning a business, I can't imagine not having support. As I've had coaches and mentors throughout my entrepreneurship, my entire life, people that can hold space for me, and people that are in a higher level of their business or their life or expansion, because that's where I'm going. Yeah. And today, I want you to really be open in this expansion of what you can achieve today. What can you have? What would your dreams be? Here's a beautiful thought for you. What would you love for 2026? Because we are so close to it. What would you absolutely love for 2026? Are you ready for that $1 million business? Are you ready for that new $1 million business? Because I know there is somebody in the chat that in our Facebook group that is actually looking for her next $1 million business. Because that is really fun stuff to be doing. Yes. And it's also expansion. But when we don't know where we're going, it can get a little bit, you can actually start going off into different directions that you don't want to go. And this is where, in a journey of entrepreneurship and in this work, our brain can take us sometimes down some other paths that we don't really want to go, but we do it because of fear. Because when we're changing our identity, you can feel so good one day getting off a masterclass, and you feel good the next day. And guess what happens on the third day? You can go back to the old self. You can go back to some of that fear, some of that doubt again, some of that unknowing where you want to be. Thank you for letting us know. So today we really want to be thinking about this. We want to be thinking about, so what would you love? How would you be? How would you act? If you had $1 million in the bank, what would you do differently? How would you be different? Would you turn up differently today? Would you take those, like you wouldn't hesitate in life. You would listen and do. So I'm going to share some stories, okay? So I desired more in my life. So I got a mentor, and it was $100,000 investment for me. Did it sit in right away of fear? Yes. It was the biggest investment in myself, because it's never investing in someone else. You're investing in yourself. Because I wanted the $1 million, the millions of dollars. I've had $1 million a couple of times. So even though I wanted it again, but I wanted more. I knew it deep down, but I was afraid to kind of say it, right? And I knew investing in someone who is a $50 million mentor coach, that I would be in a frequency of this amazing energy. And I did it. I remember doing the first down payment, and I think it was around $35,000. It was like, but I already was there. So my mindset was like, absolutely, I want in that room. That's what you guys are doing right now. You're in the $1 million room. This is your first taste of it, seeing it. And that's what I did with this coach, my mentor. I had already been in the room. I was seeing it, but I wanted to be now in it wholeheartedly, because I wanted to grow faster, learn more faster, be better and better, and have that other beautiful souls of women that are also reaching and wanting to have more. And this is what you're doing today. I want you to think about what would you do differently? And I joined that, and I went on the payment plan, and within 2 months or 3 months, I paid the rest off, because I was there, because I felt it. I didn't hesitate. I didn't waver. There was no wobble. There was a little wobble just before I paid it all in full. I was like, ooh. I went back into that old identity, and I went, no, I'm not doing that. I jumped. And I continue to jump all year, because I'm in a high frequency of women. So your frequency right now, if you're desiring more, you want to get into the next room. So who's ready for the next room? Does it make you excited? Or does it make you a little bit nervous to fully step into it? Because there's no right or wrong answer here, right? There you go. Both. And we are human beings. I want you to know this, right? We're going to experience every feeling that is on the planet. We cannot hide from it. We cannot pretend it's not happening. I want you to feel. Feeling is everything. You must feel, right? When we suppress our feelings, you're blocking abundance, you're blocking everything. But when we get to feel, we get to go, ooh, this is interesting. What would I love? Would you love to go into the room? Would you love to jump into that next level? Because deep down, what was the first thought, Danelle? Before you answered that, you said both, but was the first thought, ooh, I'd love that. And then the back brain or the old identity says, ooh, no, keep you safe. Don't know. There's a bit of fear there. Yes, that's your intuition. Okay. That's what I felt too. And I knew it. So that is so beautiful, right? This is the stuff. It's now listening. If we do not listen, you're going to stay in the old identity. If you don't take the next leap, you will stay in the old identity. I promise you. It takes It takes that courage. It takes that determination. You've got to want it, not need it. Remember, what is need? Need is tight. I need the money. I need the clients. I need to be in that room. I want you, you need to be in this. I would love to do that. That excites me. This is like your business, right? Like you're showing up proudly. You're doing what you want to do, saying what you want to do. Like I don't plan what I talk about. This is me speaking my truth. It comes out through me. And I've always been like this. Okay? It's the truth in me. I speak from my intuition, but also with the power of the feminine energy, right? That's source, that's God, that's the whole manifestation. These are the thoughts. The intuition is there waiting for you to move. But how long will you not move for? So my marriage, this was the biggest lesson for me now. I knew it then, but I didn't listen. Like we dated, it was beautiful. We traveled, it was beautiful. And as soon as we were supposed to be getting married, the signs were there not to. My gut said, this is not right. I chose not to listen. So it can go both ways here, ladies, right? And I'm sure there's been a time in your life that it didn't work out the way you wanted it because you didn't listen to the sign. Like even the day after we got married in Hamilton Island in the Whitsundays. We took this beautiful cruise. You go diving, you're with the jellyfish. It's like, you know, it's the touristy thing to do. He comes out of the water and he says, I've lost my wedding ring. Do you know what I said? That's not a good sign. That was the sign of our marriage would eventually dissolve. And it did. But I didn't take the signs. And there were many, many signs. Many. But we learn from everything, don't we? But I want you not to make those. I would love, not want. Well, I do want you. I want you to listen to your intuition. I want you to be your best self here today and every day. And it is absolutely possible to make $1 million in your first year of business. Or even if it's just like here, ask this question. If it took you 2 years, would you care? You wouldn't. So the frequency of money, right? And going into that next level with your identity is going to hold you back because sometimes we're not ready to hold that frequency. Like think about where you are right now in your business. How do you feel about it? Are you excited about it? Are you listening to those nudges? Are you being free in your life to listen with the alignment in it? There's so many signs. There's so many ways to run a business, right? But if you're not being seen out there, no one's going to know what you have to offer. And as millionaires, right, here, there are so many ways to make money. And I want you to be not just open in one area of your life. I want you to be open to making money and being an open vessel in all areas of your life. Yeah? Because when we're an open vessel, that means opportunities are coming and there might be things coming in that you didn't even know about. But until you step into that next identity and take those jumps and leaps and get into rooms where people are where you want to be, you will stay the same. You might get so many levels up, but it's so important to be surrounded with the right community and the right people. Yeah. And yesterday you've made a plan as, sorry, I'm trying to remember who's made the plan. Maria's made a plan for her business, which is so beautiful, right? So would you like to quantum leap that plan and to feel her? Because here's the thing, when we get, now I'm going to talk about like the real stuff of feminine energy. Okay. Do you know that things are created in our mind? Your thoughts are going every day. Are you creating the positive outcome of it, or are you creating what you don't want? The feminine energy is a feeling, but it's also about seeing it, right? What would you love to be? What would you love to see? I've felt and had, right, millions of dollars. So for me, beautiful. Love that. Love that. It's great to have the vision board. It's exciting. I just went off track now. What was I going to say? Oh goodness. That's why sometimes I try not to answer questions, because I will go off. But when we talk about millions of dollars, right? So that's where my identity now has gone up to a new level of what I would love. Okay. I've expanded in my vision, but also my heart and what I can hold. And there is an energy around how much you can hold, because if you can't feel that you can hold it, you can't have it. It's like making a wish and dreaming for something, but you don't believe it and you can't feel it. So it will never come. And here's some great examples. Like, think about people that are in the dating industry, right? Somebody wants to date someone and they feel needy and they want it so bad. Do you think they're going to find the guy? Do you think they're going to get the right guy? They're not. Because first of all, they want it way too much. They're being needy. I've had friends, right? Friends of mine that have been single, and like they get these guys right away, but then it doesn't work out and they're going to the next guy and the next guy and the next guy, because they don't know what they want. They don't know who they are, because they're stuck in that same identity of whatever they were, and they keep attracting the same kind of guy, but they want something different. Do you see that? Does that make a good analogy about identity? They're on the loop. They're just looping the same person, dressing up differently, trying to be different, trying to see a guy that looks different. Oh, he looks different. He might be better. But it's them. It's you. Everything is you. I had this beautiful client, Lauren, and she came to me for help in her being, right? She felt really drained. She was drained from work. She loved what she did, had a great business, but always said, they're bugging me. My clients are they're always here. They're always wanting more, right? Like these are things that were happening, right? She was estranged. Her husband and her were estranged. She had a couple of kids, and she was sort of the breadwinner, right, of the family. So her life, she was in such a negative roller coaster. An identity, I don't know where, and the identity that we came to was from years ago as a child. She didn't feel seen. She wasn't supported. So we had to shift her energy and create a new identity for her, one that she loved, one that she absolutely loved. And this took time. Like at first she would just, not believe it was possible. But once we started changing her thoughts and her feelings and carving out time for her to slow down, as we talked about yesterday, slowing down, surrendering, having time for yourself, stuff started to change. She got off the hustle bus, because most of you are on the hustle bus. Yeah. Who's been on the hustle bus? We have a few new faces here. You don't want to be on the hustle bus, right? This is not the hustle bus anymore. This is creating your dream life in flow, in alignment with who you're meant to be. Do you believe you can have anything you want? I'm getting lots of faces. Yes. Okay. So what's going to keep you knowing that when the old brain shows up, or the clients don't show up, or stuff still starts to go pear-shaped? It's powerful, isn't it? It's these things in life, in the human experience, that will take us out. But when you get so crystal clear on what you desire, that changes for you. And I have a client on here right now, and I'm hoping Carmela won't mind sharing some beautiful awarenesses that has happened. Okay, so Carmela came to me, and she desires her $50,000 months. This is who she is. And we've been in this beautiful private container, and it's more of a telegram, right? And that extra support, because that stuff is so powerful. If anyone hasn't had that kind of coaching, it is really powerful, because it's catching you. It keeps you in the knowing of your dreams, of possibility. And she's been having a whole bunch of stuff going on. Not things that we want to have going on. Water leak in her house that she thinks is just a few leaks that's ended up being quite a little renovation. And she just messaged in our chat, or we're in another group, a heart expansion group as well. And in this heart expansion, she said she's finally got the identity of the 50K woman. And that, for her, she would tell you that this has been really fast, because we've only been coaching for 5 weeks. Yep. And she's left me many messages saying she's had different coaches, but the stuff is happening super fast for her, because she's in a frequency with me. But it's also because I've been there, right? I have the experience to help her move through it, but also me being in a frequency of $50 million women, I'm in a different frequency as well. And this is so powerful when you really desire something more for your life. And we haven't had a chance to chat yet about what's been going on. I was just so excited to get that message last night. It was just like, yeah. Because we have the wobbles, and the wobbles happen. I had a wobble, and it brought me back, and I'm going to share this wobble because I've started writing my book again. I wrote a book a couple of years ago when I left my divorce, but that when we write, it is a beautiful way, right? It's expansion. But when I wrote that book, there was a lot of anger. Woo, things I never got to say and I suppressed. So it was certainly not going to be the book. They call it, in a writing era, when you write books, it's the shitty first draft. So I had the shitty first draft, and I physically couldn't even go back and look at it because there was so much stuff in it. Because remember, we're energy beings. We never want to go back to energy that we don't want to be. It's okay to reflect, but we don't want to sit in the old stuff. So I rewrote it again. I even brought on a ghostwriter. I got the draft, and by the time I went to read it, it was just like, oh my gosh, that is not my words. That is not me. And I sat in it And this was over a year. So the book has been sitting for a year. And all of a sudden, I had the intuition. My intuition's like, get back to the book, get back to the book. So I started again. And oh my goodness, this book is so different, so different. But what happened is that I went, oh, look at her. I went back to this book and I looked at the past reflection of the identity. So when I built my $1 million business at the age of 28, I had a multi-million-dollar business, okay? And I still had this so I had an incredible life rolling. I had cars, I could go, I traveled, flying business class, all those things were happening. And the man that I married, I didn't see it back then, but he was not a healed man. This is why I dimmed my light, made him feel better. I was the one that he wanted to be, my energy, my frequency. Instead of leaving, I dimmed. I changed. I gave and gave and gave. And that identity went from an old identity to an identity I had never had before as that woman of need. Okay? And this life that we get to live is just experiences that we get to experience. It doesn't make you anything but an experienced woman. And love it with joy wherever you are. And if you're still too young to have experienced too much, that's okay. Because we're all in different parts of our life, right? And you know, the ones that have had tougher lives actually come out the other end. And the stories that we hear about those types of people, right? It's like when I was I sharing it yesterday? I did that movie with, oh, now it's gone blank with me, but we hear about the celebrities or the girl that's been living in her car that now became a multimillionaire. I actually knew one of those in another business of mine. You know, she literally was sleeping in her car, lost everything from a previous marriage, and all of a sudden built this incredible multi-million-dollar business on the other end. Because sometimes we have to lose it all to remember who the heck we are. But it comes from the determination. It comes from belief. It comes from doing the things that most people would never do that you do. It's not by staying and going by the rules of life. It's about being extraordinary, unstoppable, unapologetically you. And I know all of you are like that, aren't you? And maybe haven't thought about it, maybe haven't leaned into it, but it is who you are. There was something that you saw in my post, in my ad, that went, I want to be in there. So I want you to remember who you are. So love to know, who are you at this moment right now in time? Drop it in the comments. Who are you? I'm a determined woman. I go after what I want. I'm a healed woman. I can hold millions of dollars in my frequency. I love doing what I do and serving. I never look at anything as something didn't work out. It was a lesson for me. So the lessons of life are your biggest growth. And that is the journey to the $1 million. I can tell you, Carmela has learned a lot about herself in the last 5 weeks, things that she probably never knew because of being in an energy to expand. Yeah, beautiful. How did you feel before coming into our program, Carmela? Because she was in the wobble. She was in the wobble. Woo. Just pop it in the chat. Yes. She's questioning and doing, yes, you were doing a lot. It can feel really unsettling when you start becoming more going to the spa, taking time off. Yesterday afternoon, I think it was by 12 o'clock, I was done. I took my dog to the beach. I had a beautiful hour. Well, it wasn't an hour. It was a slow walk with her. And I'm so grateful. So grateful for my life that I get to have and to be existent in. The more grateful you are, the more abundance flows. Oh, beautiful. Goosebumps, Danielle. Goosebumps. Woo! Do you know the sign of goosebumps is being in flow, right? Being attached, knowing that source energy is there. There's no coincidences in life. Things don't happen just because you think, oh my God, so-and-so just rang me. Every time I think of Carmela, I have this energy, and then she sends me a DM in our chat. It's just beautiful. Okay. This is the power of the feminine energy. This is how I created my multi-millions. Okay. And in the last couple of years, I've had over 2 million circulate in my life. So sit with that, open to receiving, not just in one area of life. You can have it all in many ways. So today, as I've had many of you ask, I want to talk about, because some of you are asking, what's next? What do I do now? And I'm just going to share one more story before I go into that. So, and I'm going to talk about how I jumped. Okay. The scariness of when you really want more and you really start sharing yourself with the world and you are saying in the comments that you want more. I want you to be mindful, because when you want more, it comes in different ways. And a lot of times it'll come in ways that you don't expect. Okay. And those are the hard times. They have to come first. You want $1 million business? It's going to be bumps. There's going to be challenges in your life, because now you've said it. And the universe is going to go, and God, they're going to go, oh, perfect. Okay, let's go. It's going to be a ride. Because it's your personal development. It's your personal self-growth that has to rise first. And you know this, right? Everything is created in our mind first. It's like dating. Think about the guy. Are you married? A lot of you have kids. You've married somebody. Whoops, my girlfriend's checking because I didn't go on my run. She checks in. She'll be saying, where were you? So beautiful. What was I saying? See? Who's going to remind me? That was going to be a good point. There's going to be bumps in the road. Oh, vision, right? So we create everything in our mind. I was talking about dating. It's come back to me. So dating, no, what was I going to say now? I've completely lost my train of thought, but everything starts in our mind. Dating, right? You meet your husband. That's what I was going to say. So you feel this energy, right? You feel it, you want it. And what do? You start everything, you start changing your life around, right? All of a sudden you're so busy before you meet this guy. Like your calendar is full. And when you start dating someone that you actually like, doesn't your calendar go pear-shaped? You go, oh yeah, I can cancel that girlfriend. I can go out with you now because you're in this this energy, this fullness, this, oh my God, this feels so good. This is the energy you got to stay in for the $1 million. This feels so good. Even when that guy wasn't the guy you thought. You finally go, oh, you're not for me. See ya. You feel a little, or he leaves you and your heart's broken. Remember that one guy that broke your heart? I actually broke up with all my guys, excluding the ex-husband. But my heart wasn't broken. I was broken. There was a difference there. Okay? Or your house. Gonna have a water leak. In my last house, when I sold it, this was the crumble for me coming into my mentorship that I wanted to go into, that $100,000 investment. I kept getting a water leak. My water bill for 1/4 or whatever was over $900. I was one person. It happened again. Caught this one earlier. So the bill was only $600. And do you know what? It happened a third time. I sold the house. But I also changed my identity in that house. That identity was me saying, enough. I'm not this Yvonne other name. I became Yvonne Marie, which is my middle name, now called Millionaire. Yvonne Millionaire Purvis. I was her. That identity was changed. I let go of the house. I had no idea where I was going to move to. It was all through the end of COVID. My friends were saying, are you okay? Where are you going to move? I said, oh, don't worry. It's all going to work out. I was still in this excitement. I knew the house I would find. I felt it. I was her. And all of a sudden, it was like 3 days. I realized I had the date wrong where I had to get out of my house. Like seriously, I was just in this dreamy land. It's all going to work out. And then I had to get out of my house and I went on to overdrive. I had all this furniture. I was like, oh no, I sold my furniture, but I had still stuff that I was taking and I didn't know where I was going to live. I had to organize a truck to pick up my gear, to keep it somewhere. And then I found an Airbnb to jump into. And then all of a sudden, the day I'm moving, guess who I get? I get the call. I get the call for the house that I love. And they offered it to me. The frequency, asking for more, is going to show up. But when you held in that space, I tell you, when you're going through all that stuff, it's so easy. It's all so easy. As Carmela's going to say, that water leak was her holding the 50K identity. So are you still ready for your millions? Pop a yes in the chat. Come on, ladies. You're a little quiet today. Doesn't matter. You've started your first business. Yes. Doesn't matter. You can make $1 million in a year. If you believe it can be true, it will be true. But it's staying in the frequency. The frequency is everything. It is what holds it when we're not seeing it. It can take a while to not see it, can't it? So now I'm going to dive into a few ways that your next vision for your $1 million of what that could look like. Being supported, being held in a few different ways. Okay. So this is for the woman who's like really ready. Like you're ready to quantum leap. You want to invest. You want to jump like I've jumped timelines. Okay. And it's my inner circle. And it's a 12-month membership, or not membership, mentorship. And I've done something different with this one. I've opened it up so that you can also do it as a 6-month. I've never done it. It came to me 2 days ago. So I've done it. Okay. And this is exactly what I have been doing in my life. So I'll be able to hold that energy for you. So that when you are in times where there's uncertainty, no problem, Asha. When you are having those times, you have that frequency and being held in that energy. Ashwa, if you're still there, I'm going to do a bonus call tomorrow. It'll go out. Anyway, so that is my inner circle, and it's for women that are ready to be making 100K months. Okay. That's where we're sitting, because that's your $1 million. It's actually $1 million is like 83333 or something like that. But it's where the frequency is going to lift you into a higher energy. Your business is going to expand in ways you've never seen before, because you're going to expand into it. Okay. I can't remember what my 6-month, what the price was, but the inner circle 12-month is 22222. So 22,000, it's all twos, $2,222. But anyway, it's all twos. Okay. And the 6-month is, I think it works out. Oh, I don't even have the exact numbers, but I've just put it in half pretty much. Okay. And then there's another way, which is really for someone. There's a lot of you that are starting your business. You've got the plan, and this is for that. So it's called Her Circle. And this is where it's really about laying all those foundations where you're feeling it, making sure you're in the right energy. When we are in the right energy and we're launching things, that is the feminine energy. This is going to stop you from ever going into hustle and grind. This is where you're going to learn these patterns to really start becoming her first. Okay. So that you're in alignment with all of those actions. And it's amazing when you start feeling that. Okay. And that's where you can scale your business so much easier, but it's going to lay all those foundations. You're going to make sure you're held in that. And again, that's a 12-month membership. Why do I keep saying membership? I have no idea. Mentorship. Okay. And that's 5,505. It's all fives. Okay. 15555. And yes, numbers mean things. Fives are change. The number 5, when you see 555, it's all about expansion and change in your life. So these last 3 years, I was 555. Every time I'm seeing 555s, because I had a lot of change to happen. So be aware of the numbers. They're really fun to follow, and they are signs. Okay. And that's the expansion of that. And then I'm also opening up more of a Telegram group, which is what Carmela's been into, with allowing yourselves to have a few calls, Zoom calls also in there. And that's going to be for 8888. And what do 8 stand for? Yes, money. And it's also like 8, the sound of that, isn't that, what is that circle? That's the infinity, right? It's an infinity. Oh, goosebumps on that. And that I'm only going to accept probably 10 women in that group, because I want to make sure everyone's got the right support. Because Telegram is a little bit different than having more Zoom calls where you're getting to see more of me. But I'm also knowing that sometimes you don't want all of that. So there's other ways. And this is where it's great to have a conversation with me or with Megan. Okay. So that we can find out where you are in your life. Sometimes you're just, maybe you're needing with your starting up your first job, your first business. Maybe you just want to have that kind of conversation to help get those foundations, where it's going, what your year looks like in that movement as well. Okay. So just know that it's like, I'm flexible, be flexible. I'm flexible because not everybody is looking for the same thing. We're all different, experiencing different things in our lives. Okay. Any questions? So what I was going to do tomorrow, I was actually going to have a call that we can expand on this. If anybody would like to just really have a chat about it. And I was going to do that tomorrow at 5 p.m. PST, which is 2 p.m. PST. I think I've got that right. Anyway, it'll go out. I'll pop all this stuff in the Facebook group. Okay. So slide in my DMs in there. Let's have a chat. Let's know where you're at. And or on email, it'll be in the email for you, where you can also reach out to Megan or myself. I think it's best to come. We have to somehow get your Facebook to be able to have a chat. So reach out. The $1 Million Woman is here. Remember the $1 Million Man? What was he? Why was he the $1 Million Man? He had the eye, but what was it? It wasn't even about money. Isn't that funny? Who didn't watch that? The Bionic Man and the eye, you could laser in. So beautiful. Any questions? Yes, 5 p.m. EST. Thank you. 2 p.m. PST. The expansion is 2026. I've heard so many beautiful things coming out next year. It is going to be expansive. It's not all going to be an easy road. Again, they're predicting. There is a lot going on in the collective. And but stay grounded in it and feel safe in it, because you're always safe and you're always secure. But I'm looking forward to whoever wants to jump into their next era, because I call it an era of being the woman that has that dream life, that you're really living your best life every day, not just some days, every single day, because you know it within you, you trust it, you have the support and being held in it. I don't know what I would have done if I wasn't in my mentorship. Like, I swear by it. It's just something that you want. For me, it's my desire to be in a community of other women. And I do have private, as you know, Carmela's private with me. But whatever feels, this is where you listen to yourself. And that first instant, okay, whatever I said in a program, if that was like, oh my God, that's me, that is your intuition. So the fear is going to come in right away. It's like, I've heard, it's like two minutes, you're in the frequency of what your higher self is wanting. And this is what it comes down to, ladies, right? This is your higher self. This is the woman. The identity is already there. I want you to grasp this. Everything that you are remembering in your life is the life that you were meant to have. So my frequency from the millionaire, right? Multimillionaire that lost everything. I've now remembered in seeing visions in a life that I'm meant for. That's not a coincidence. It's waiting for me. This is for all of you. There is more. And this is where you get to see it and feel it and be held in it, to trust it, because it's going to ask for you to do more. If you want it, you have to jump. You have to move. Okay? So beautiful. Oh, goosebumps again. So we have some beautiful numbers going. What time is it? Sometimes when I get on these calls, it's like in another country, it'll be the perfect number. I don't even know. What time is this? It's got a 4 in it, so it's not going to be a good number, but those numbers are so good. Like, they're just beautiful. Don't be attached to them though. Okay. Remember, we enjoy life, right? It's a flow. It's about staying in that state of flow, always. Enjoyment, fun. Any questions before we say goodbye? And come into the Facebook group. If you're not there, I don't think you're in there, Maria. And I'm so excited. And if you, we'll chat in the group or chat with us personally. Okay. I'm so grateful for everyone that's been here with me today. I hope this helped you expand into that millionaire that's waiting for you. You're very welcome, Carmela. Beautiful to have you here. Think about that for a moment too when you get off the call. What would it feel like to have a 100K month? What would it feel like to have a 50K month? Maybe it's a 20K month. There's no judgment here. It's what you can feel. What would you love? It's your higher self. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm so blessed to have you all here today. And I'll see you in the Facebook group. You're welcome, Danielle. See you guys.